All right, class, in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to attach body parts or things to your sculpture. You should always keep your sculpture inside the plastic bag until you're completely done with it. And also, you guys remember I put this paper towel on top of my sculpture so that I would keep this area leather hard and workable, right? So that I can, keep attaching things to it. There's the hole, which is very important to have on the bottom so that the air flows through the bottom. And then I put another one at the top because I'm going to be adding something on it, like, I don't know, a head or a neck or whatever. I'll decide. I'll think about something later. The way I want you to think about body parts or objects that you want to add to your sculpture, I want you to think of them in terms of basic forms. So when you are going to make, let's say, a leg, it's obviously going to be something that looks like a cylinder. Everything in nature somewhat falls within a basic form, whether it's a cube, whether it's a sphere, whether it's a pyramid, a cone. And, and when you think about it that way, it's much easier to, to make body parts or objects that you want to add to your sculpture. So in this case, let's say we are going to add legs to the sculpture. And so obviously, when you think of a leg or an arm, you or a neck, you think of a cylinder. And so the cylinder should be your basic form in this case. We are going to try to use the pinch pot method to make these body parts and objects that are going to be added to the sculpture. But you could also use methods like the slab method, which you already know from previous videos. Remember, you need to work from the bottom to the top. And that is obvious, right? Because you don't want to like build things on top of your sculpture and then knock them down. And so in this case, let's say I want to add some legs. I'm going to start with those, right? Not the arms, but the legs. Not the head, but the legs. And so I'm going to look at my sculpture and see which side I'm going to get these started with. So I'm going to put my legs on these two sides. And I'm going to make a small marking right here just to know, here and here. Just to try to keep some symmetry. And okay, so because I'm going to be making two legs, it is a better idea to make the two legs at the same time. And you want to make both clay balls at the same time so that the legs are going to look the same size. So here I'm going to make a ball of clay, another one. So this is going to keep consistency, right? By making the two balls about the same size. So hold them with both hands and you can tell right away if they're about the same or not. All right. So I said that I was going to use the pinch pot method to make the legs, and one quick trick is by using your finger. So I'm going to go ahead and remember the pinch pot method, how we started just by sticking one finger. In this case, I'm not using my thumb, but I'm using my index finger. I'm keeping the thickness of the clay around 1/4 inch all around. Here at the tip, here at the end, and at the top, at the bottom, and at the top. So I would say that's about, I'm gonna start with that. You wanna make it a little bit bigger because you can always cut down. It's better to trim something to make it smaller than to make it bigger because again, adding is more problematic than cutting, right? Than to making something smaller. Okay, there you go. That's the first leg. And let's, because it's much easier to do another one or the two at the same time. You go ahead and do the same thing, right? So again, sort of like the pinch pot method, try to keep it nice and round. And it's about a little bit more. And so again, this is a really easy way to make a cylinder. Think about it. And so there you go. It's cool. I'm sorry I keep going outside the camera. So with my finger, I'm trying to keep it nice and even all around. And so, and like I said, I made them a little bit bigger because it's much easier to trim than to add when you're dealing with clay. And so these would go something like that, right? So whenever you're gonna make something that is bigger than 3/4 of an inch, you need to make sure it's hollow because you can have a huge piece like this as the leg. Your sculpture is gonna get really heavy, and then we run into the possibility of these legs exploding because there might be air pockets, right, inside, inside the leg if it's all solid. So right here, I can even go further and begin to shape the leg here because as you can see, this is not gonna be straight like that, right? It's gonna be slanted a little bit because I'm gonna be attaching it a little bit to the side of the leg. So I could just guesstimate how much of an angle I would need to cut, and then I could just go ahead and cut it out, right? Like this. See that? So you just go ahead and cut it, and then at one point, this is gonna be attached to your sculpture like this. See that? That would fit perfectly. So there you have those two choices, and again, you can do the cutting with the needle, an X-Acto knife, any sharp object. So here I can use this, and like I said, it's better if you do anything anything that you need twice. In this case, the legs, that you do both at the same time because you're comparing one to the other, right? And so that's why I'm trying to do both of them. Even if I don't attach them today, I I still have both legs that are gonna look the same. There you have it, guys. That's how you would attach legs. This is how you would attach arms. Look, these could be the arms somewhat, right? Um, you can bend them, bend them whatever shape you need. This would be the starting point, and then you would start bending them. And so now let's go ahead and attach them. But before I attach them, I was thinking, I want to put some shoes on these. I'm adding some shoes. And so let's say that I'm going to need about this much of clay to make that. So again, make two. Even if you don't make them at the same time, you can go ahead and make both clay balls. And let's say that you're only gonna do one today and the next one tomorrow. It's fine. You just take this, wrap it with a damp paper towel, and then put it away, and it'll stay fresh until the next day. Okay. So again, any you can make body parts or objects and put them away. It's gonna go like this, like that. Look, let me show you. See that? Like that. And so this is, I want obviously it's this sculpture is sitting, so it's obviously gonna be somewhere. So this one, the here's the dilemma. Should I score it and seal it, or should I just go ahead and blend it in like that? And just because I get paranoid about things not sticking, I'm just gonna go ahead and do a little bit of scoring right there. And I'm gonna put it together. Right there, you already feel the bonding happening just by doing that simple thing. I didn't put um, slip because it's already kind of wet in the union because of the water. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and start to mold it. And so you can see here, I'm okay, so there you have it. I just made my first leg. Guys, don't be afraid to do things. And look, if the leg is a little bit off or something, you can always, bend it. It's the clay is still flexible. You're not gonna break it. All right, so let's go to the next leg, and I'm going to go ahead and put the leg in there. And again, better safe than sorry. I'm gonna score it a little bit because it's still fresh and kind of wet. I'm not gonna bother putting um, uh, slip because this is already wet. I'm putting my fork inside the water, and I'm kind of already creating slip in it. Look at that. It's so like to kind of pull the clay so that it bonds with the other one. Look at that going back and forth like that. And so here's the two legs. So again, it's much better to work on both of them at the same time. Now go ahead and you can take your time and mold them however you want to mold them. This is the fun part, guys. I don't want to take too much time. I'm just gonna make one boot for now. I can go ahead and use my modeling tool, which if you guys remember, I showed you how to make a modeling tool with a tongue depressor. Something really simple here. We could do the we can model so you don't have to just make a line. So here we are making the heel of the boot. And this is again where you're gonna take your time. Anyway, I'm gonna make this a little bit faster. Anyway, so that's how you would do the make the detail. And this is the left one, so it's gonna be pointing like that, or something like that, right? All right, so let's go ahead and attach one leg so we can finish this video. And so, oh, by the way, another important thing, just 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 the way I did the bottom of the boot in modeling it, um, in carving it. I want to say that also, like here, you know how boots um, have, you know how the top of the boot looks like. I could I could just make a line like that, something like that, right? For the boot. And you know, it's okay, but it's not as exciting, you know. It looks too simple. So do the same thing that I did here at the bottom of the boot, where you're gonna be kind of pressing down a little bit on the clay in order to uh, create this negative positive effect where the boot is gonna look more three-dimensional and where the boot has a thickness, okay, like this, right? And so I think that would be much nicer. See that right there? I hope you can see it because the sun is totally getting on my way right now. And so I'm making this flat, and then just raising this up. You can also take some clay if you want. You can take some clay and build up the, the boot if you want. Now, again, I'm gonna have to do this um, later, so I don't make this video too long, but you get the point, like right there. And then that is going to make it look more realistic. And so again, remember this, we want this to be hollow, and you know, I'm sticking my finger in there so that I can um, thin it out. You can also measure it, okay? If you wanna really get to that level where you have something to measure with. So if you're saying, okay, my leg is this long, and you're going like that, you're going like that. You say my leg is this long, then you can, you know, do it to the other one. And so, okay, so this is hollow. As much as I could, I made it hollow. And now, be careful with your finger because you might not want to come out. You can also do the detail after, once you have it on attached. Okay, so here's my line. Go like this. Um, I'm gonna make my leg a little bit smaller. Just about a quarter of an inch, like that. Like that. Something. My line is all the way over here, but so I'm changing my mind. I can ignore that for now. And I'm gonna hold it like that so that I know where the leg goes. And I'm gonna make a marking around it like this because I'm gonna need to score. Right. So go ahead and score the whole area here. Now, here's another thing. Here's something that you definitely need to remember. Remember that we are dealing with hollow forms, and don't forget to do the um, the holes for it to. So it's don't forget to make the holes. So here I'm gonna make a hole right here in the middle, and I'm gonna make it bigger because again I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'm gonna make it big hole right there. It won't hurt. And I'm going to, I like to put my fork inside the water. So I'm gonna go ahead and score that. And get the slip. And you can feel that this, the body here, it's already much drier than obviously my leg because the leg is just fresh, brand new clay. And so I'm gonna go ahead and remember score. Blend it in. All right, so it's gonna go here like that. Look at the holes. Go like that. Set it down. And go ahead and begin to the camera. I wish you could see that on the side. You could see it on the top. So there you go. So I did press it down a little bit. And if you want to add a little bit of clay there, you may do that too, even if it's a fresh clay, because it's the same consistency. Because it is at the same consistency, you can go ahead and take some. Always being aware not to create any air pockets. So there, I just added a little bit of clay, and you can add it if there's a certain form that needs to follow. If it needs to, if it needs to have a certain thickness or whatever. So just feel free to add clay. So there you have it, guys. Here's the first leg, and I'm gonna go ahead and sit it down. And so I wanna position it how I want it right now. I'll be able to add or carve later. It would probably be better if you attach the other leg later when this leg has hardened a little bit, and you can feel more comfortable attaching the other one. Go ahead and put this away. If your paper towels are damp, then put new ones. You can recycle this by putting them away, let them dry, and then reuse them. Put the leg here, and again, make sure that the leg is left the way you want it because it's gonna dry. And so there it is. Again, the dry paper towels are gonna help this dry. And what we're gonna do is put a damped paper towel on top because I don't want it to dry. I like the consistency of the clay. Let's go ahead and put this leg away. Just wrap it. Just like that. Put it right here. I'm not covering the leg because I want it to dry faster, right? All right, guys, that's it. Thank you.